So last week we went through your formulation again, and we were thinking that today we might think about some of your more positive qualities, things that you like about yourself. Is that still okay for us to do today? So when we were talking through your formulation last week, we talked quite a lot about the beliefs that you hold about yourself and how they've kind of come from some of the experiences you had earlier in life. So we talked a lot about kind of the strict upbringing you had at home and how you weren't kind of allowed to express much emotion in the household. And we also talked a lot about the bullying that you faced at school as well, and how that was a difficult time for you. And we thought about some of the beliefs that you now hold about yourself in your life. And a few of those things were kind of around things of not feeling like you weren't good enough, feeling worthless, not as good as other people, and some thoughts about your appearance as well, feeling fat and ugly, those things that you identified. And then we also thought a little bit about kind of what happens when we hold those negative beliefs and having that kind of
how it affects me day to day.
Can you remember a bit about what we said about that, about kind of having that filter there?
That I kind of dismiss good things I might have done because I'm just kind of seeing tunnel vision, so I'm just looking for everything to confirm what I already think about me, so I don't feel good enough, so I look for everything to confirm that, and like you said, I might dismiss some things that I have done good.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly what we talked about, and that's really common to do that when we hold those negative beliefs. We only see
it's hard
to try and just think differently. One of the ways that we can help to try and think a bit differently is to first of all kind of identify some of our positive qualities and think of these kind of an alternative belief, I guess, rather so the other side of not being good enough. So I wonder, is it okay if we spend a bit of time today doing that, thinking about some of your positive qualities, and then maybe thinking about how you could notice them a little bit more?
I'll try. It might be hard.
And it is quite difficult to do that. You know, I think we were talking before about how kind of brought up in a society where you don't brag about good qualities, and so it can be quite difficult. But if you're happy to give it a whirl, just some of my pens. Okay, and so we'll make a list whilst we go along. Okay. So what are the things that you'd say you like about yourself?
Well, a lot of people say that I'm a good listener.
Good listener?
Yeah,
that's a great one. And does that say anything else about yourself, like being a good listener?
Well, I suppose I listen because I care about other people.
Something about being caring as well. Okay. Anything else?
It's quite difficult because I don't really feel like I'm good enough. I don't really like myself, so it's difficult to find things.
What about somebody who really cares about you? How do you think they would describe you, if they would describe your positive qualities?
They would probably say that I'm really thoughtful, because I know I'm quite creative and I like making cards. So I'll always make cards for my friends and my family on their birthdays and Christmas. They would say I'm probably quite thoughtful.
So we've got thoughtful and creative as well. That's another positive quality. Okay. And so thinking, just trying to think off the top of your head of positive things can be quite difficult. So think about what sort of the achievements do you think you've had in life? what you managed to do?
Well, even though I had quite a traumatic childhood and the bullying was really bad in school, it kind of put me off going kind of further in my education, but I did manage to go to college because it was in a different school to where I was, and I did manage to finish my A-levels.
Excellent. So through everything, you got through it and you managed to go to college and do your A-levels.
Yeah.
What do you think, what sort of qualities do you need to be able to do that? If you're thinking about another person, so you heard another person's story of how they'd had a difficult time at school and they managed to get through and go to college and do their A-levels, what sort of characteristics do you think they'd have that would...
I would say like quite strong, resilient, determined.
So we've got strong, resilient, determined. Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good. And you talked a little bit about it there, about how you overcame the difficult time you had at school. Are there any other challenges you've had in life, even maybe some small ones that you've managed to overcome?
Well, I lost my job when I finished college, and that was a very difficult time because again I just kept thinking I'm not good enough. But I was out of work for 6 months, but I was able to get myself back into work. And I'm still in that job now.
So you managed to pick yourself up, get another job, and stay in that job as well.
The first time, which usually what happens because my mood goes quite low, and I just end up kind of leaving the work. And a lot of places don't understand mental health. But in this place I really understand, and I've been able to carry on working there, so that does make me feel a bit better.
So it sounds like you've got support
at
work,
support,
so that's been helpful. But what do you think there is about your character that's allowed you to be able to do that?
Well, I think I'm quite likeable. I do have a lot of friends, and people do say I am quite funny. So I always have a laugh with people.
So likeable. Funny. So that's helped maintain those relationships
a good relationship.
At work.
That definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being kind of resilient and determined had helped you to get that other job to carry on.
Yeah.
Sounds brilliant. So the list is coming on.
Yeah, surprised.
You're doing well.
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, definitely surprised. Because you don't really think about yourself like that. It's only when someone kind of asks you and then you think, oh, actually, yeah. You just take it for granted, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. So thinking about other people, what attributes you like in other people or admire, can you think of any of those that maybe you share some of those as well?
And what I admire in other people?
Yeah.
I admire like confidence in other people. And like one of my friends, she just seems to be able to just go into crowds and just really like network and speak to people. But it's something I admire because I wish I was like that. Okay. So I don't know whether
so
that's something I'd like to share.
You'd like to share that?
Yeah.
Do you think there are any situations in life that you are where you do feel confident? So maybe not so much in those kind of social situations, but other...
I suppose, like in work at first I wasn't confident, but as I get to know people better and I know my job role, people do say that they're surprised when they find out that I do have like, depression sometimes and really low moods, because they always seem to be really outgoing and they wouldn't think that I was really nervous, but really I am. Yeah. So people do say...
the people see you too. And in the work environment, when you're doing your work, are you quite confident in your ability
when I'm
to do
speaking
your
to people
job?
on the phone and asking for help and stuff, I feel like I'm able to do it. Yeah.
So you do have some confidence in certain situations.
Yeah, in certain.
Like so.
If I'm comfortable in surrounding then I can be. I can be quite articulate in what I need. But I think some other social sides of things that I'm a bit more sceptical of.
Good. maybe put on there then, thinking about how we could think about that as a quality, maybe something about being good at your job.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah.
That'd be fair. What about being hardworking?
Yeah, that's actually what I hadn't thought about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about what do you see as bad qualities in people? What you don't like? Yeah. In people.
I don't like when people are kind of nasty about other people, but I know that probably comes from because I had a really tough time in school. So in the workplace, I don't like if I hear anybody like speaking badly of other people. That really upsets me.
And is that something you feel you ever do, or you commonly do?
I wouldn't say I have in the past, because I can find it hard to set like assertiveness is something that doesn't come easy to me. So I have in the past, but I'd never be like nasty about somebody. I'd just rather say if someone was upset about something they'd said to me.
So could we maybe say like, you're not a nasty person?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
What's the flip side of that then? So if you're not a nasty person,
Yeah.
does that mean what's the other side?
If you're not a nasty person, you're a nice person. Yeah.
Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
And any other kind of bad qualities then that you don't like?
I don't like if people are, I don't know, it's more like if people are rude to other people. Or I don't really like if you meet people and all they do is talk about themselves all the time.
Okay.
I don't really like that.
Okay.
So quite arrogant people, if people don't listen to what someone else is saying, just talk over you all the time.
Yeah.
Like there is this one person in work that's a bit like that.
Okay.
And I found that quite difficult.
Very hard.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay. So you don't like kind of that arrogance in people? Is that something you think you have?
Definitely not.
Definitely
No.
not.
And
okay.
I always try and listen and be supportive of other people, so I definitely.
Okay. So yeah, I guess the flip side of that is then being supportive.
Yeah.
And a good listener, as I said before. So I can put supportive as well. Not arrogant. And what about rude? You said rude as well. Do you feel you're...
No, I may always make a conscious effort to say thank you and please. Have good manners and and try not to be rude.
Politeness?
Yeah.
So you're polite as well?
Yeah.
Wow, we've got quite a list. Yeah. So we've got you're a good listener, you're caring, I'm thoughtful, I'm creative, I'm strong, I'm resilient, I'm determined, I'm likeable, I'm funny, I'm good at my job and hardworking, I'm a nice person, supportive, and I'm polite.
Doesn't feel like you're talking about me when you say that, but
those have all come from those things we said. So if you think about this original in your formulation, so thinking about your beliefs about yourself about not being good enough and being worthless, after going through this list of all your positive qualities, can you think of a more balanced kind of idea of, or an alternative belief that you could or you'd like to hold about yourself?
I'm a caring person, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I am actually, I suppose, when you put it down on paper, I am actually worth something. So
I'm a worthy, caring person. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So that's the alternative, the positive side. I guess the biggest task now will be trying to collect evidence for that.
Yeah.
So like we were talking about before with the filter, you've kind of gone through many years of your life only seeing, collecting evidence
Yeah.
for the negatives
Yeah.
and ignoring all the evidence that would help this belief.
Yeah, yeah.
So now if we could start thinking about the evidence for this positive belief to try and make this a bit stronger than that negative one.
Yeah.
Can you think of an example, just a recent example of where you've shown any of these qualities that we've just been through?
Well, my friend has just split up with her husband, and she's like one of my best friends. So quite recently I've been speaking to her a lot, and she said that she's found it really good to be able to speak to me, and I've just tried to listen to her really and give as much good advice as I can. And she said it's really helped her through a tough time.
Brilliant.
That was nice.
So I can put that on here. So spent time listening to a friend who split up from a partner, and the feedback you got from your friend was
Really
that was really helpful.
Yeah.
So what positive qualities do you think that showed?
The
That list
There's
is
a good listener again, I suppose, not
Yeah.
caring and
So caring, good listener,
supportive.
and supportive. Nice person, maybe?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So that's one example. And I imagine there's going to be lots and lots of examples every day that up to now just been...
Yeah, I really thought about it in a way. Because I just do it automatically.
Yeah.
It's like I do the positive things automatically, but the negative things, it's like they are highlighted to me.
Yeah.
And I just dismiss
All the
other things.
positives.
But it's good to see it out on paper and to go through that.
So is that something that you might be able to start doing to kind of look out for those positive things?
Yeah, I mean, I think it might be difficult, but I'm willing to give it a go.
Is there anything that might make that easier to do, to be able to remember the positive things?
Maybe I just need to be aware more, so if I am in work and someone says, oh, you've done a great job, just because sometimes I won't say, oh, I'll just go and shut it off, but maybe if I just think, oh, actually, and I could make a note on it, a sticky note, and then when I come back home I could maybe write
it down. And I think writing it down and keeping a log can be really helpful. A lot of people find that really helpful to remember, because like we say often, it just slips away, and then when you're having a bad day you don't remember all those.
But if I could keep that, and then I could keep referring back to it, that might be able to help. Definitely.
Brilliant. So if I give you this to take away with you, we've got one example in there already, and then you can keep writing examples in each day of things that happen, and then positive qualities, and that's something that you can keep up. We'll try and keep up in the long term as well, because it is something that will take time to develop that, because like I say, for so long, years just collecting all the evidence for the negative beliefs. So this is something that can continue.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay.